Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Zari Sofia binti Sari. My metric number is 294091. I will present about fact of the issue about this case study. The case Grand Canyon Air Tour collision presents a critical intersection of environmental protection and economic interest. The genesis of dispute lie in the Federal Aviation Administration's FAA in search of special federal aviation regulation. This regulation was designed to mitigate noise pollution caused by air tours over the Grand Canyon National Park. The National Park Overflight Act of 1987 played a pivotal role mandating the FAA, in collaboration with the National Park Service, to develop and implement a plan to substantially restore the natural quiet of the park. This act reflected a broader legislative commitment to preserving the natural environment of national park for the enjoyment of visitors seeking solace and a pristine national experience.
My name is Nur Shifa binti Muhammad Azani Sham, metric number 296682. So today, I will discuss about the issue of the case. The main issue in Grand Canyon Air Tour collision versus Federal Aviation Administration was whether the FAA rules for air tour over the Grand Canyon were good enough to address noise pollution and protect the environment. Noise from planes can harm wildlife and disturb the natural peace of the Grand Canyon, which is a national park and UNESCO World Heritage Site. This case requires a delicate balance between promoting tourism and economic activities associated with air tours and protecting the Grand Canyon environmental integrity. The court assessed whether the FAA rules appropriately manage this balance. Factors considered likely included: the first one is the extent to which the regulation limited the number and frequency of air tours over Grand Canyon. The second one is the measure implemented to mitigate noise pollution, such as altitude restriction, flight paths, and technology requirement. The third one is the consultation process with stakeholders, including environmental group, aviation companies, and local community in developing the regulation. And the last one is the scientific evidence and environmental impact assessment used to inform the regulator decision.
Hi, my name is Hanis Hanani binti Zainuddin. My metric number is 294165. I will explain about the holding cases. So, firstly, Grand Canyon Air Tower Collision VFAA. The key issue revolves around the FAA's authority to regulate air traffic over the Grand Canyon National Park. The Grand Canyon is not only a natural wonder, but also a significant cultural and ecological resource. Other than that, drawing millions of visitors each year. Then, the Grand Canyon Air Tower Collision, representing air tower operators, challenged the FAA's regulations that establish flight-free zones and flight corridors over the Grand Canyon. These regulations were aimed at addressing concerns about noise pollution from aircraft disrupting the natural soundscape and the overall visitor. The overall visitor from the experience at the park, so that the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit examined whether the FAA had acted within its statutory authority in implementing these regulations. The FAA argued that its authority to regulate airspace extended to protecting national parks and other sensitive areas from aircraft noise and other disturbance. The court upheld the FAA's authority in this matter. It recognized the importance of balancing the interests of air tower operators with the need to preserve the natural and cultural resources of the Grand Canyon for future generations. By example, it allowing the FAA to establish flight-free zones and flight corridors. The court affirmed the agency's role in protecting the unique environment and visitor experience of the Grand Canyon. In conclusion, this decision had implications not only for tower operators but also for the broader issue of balancing commercial interests with environmental conservation in national parks and other protected areas. It underscored the importance of regulatory measures in maintaining the integrity and tranquility of natural spaces amidst increasing human activity. That's all from me. Thank you.
Rationale of the holding. First, compliance with the Overflight Acts. The FAA regulation did not fully comply with the Overflight Act's requirement to substantially restore natural quiet to the Grand Canyon. The court found that the FAA's target of 50% was not sufficient to meet the statutory mandates. Second, procedural inadequacies. The FAA failed to provide an adequate explanation for its choice of noise threshold and the percentage of time that natural quiet should be achieved. Additionally, the FAA did not sufficiently address public comment or alternative approach. Third, remand for further action. The court remanded the case back to the FAA, instructing the agency to reconsider its regulation and to ensure that they align more closely with the statutory requirement of the Overflight Act. The FAA was directed to provide a clearer, rational, and more robust analysis in its rulemaking process.
So for the next slide is conclusion. In Grand Canyon Air Tour Coalition, the court upheld the FAA regulation designed to reduce noise pollution from air tours over the Grand Canyon National Park. The FAA action mandated by the National Park Overflight Act of 1987 aimed to preserve the park's natural quiet for visitors. Despite economic concerns raised by the air tour operators, the court found the FAA regulation to be within its authority and supported by substantial evidence. This case highlights the precedent of environmental protection in national park over economic interests.